So with further ado, let's talk about a bit of how you can make money. But first off, what is Rapyd? Some of you might have heard or might not have heard about Rapyd, but we started in 2016 as a company not really specifically focused on payments. It was more accepting cash in the UK, so from an ATM, so you could top up a wallet on your phone with cash and then go to an ATM machine in the UK and take cash out of there from that wallet. And in essence, is reducing the FX fees that you typically have as a tourist going to the UK and changing euros to GBPs or USD to GBP. So that's how we actually started, but we kind of shifted the business into payments because we found out, okay, if we started in the UK, which was very difficult to get a license, and we have to do that in every single country out there in the world, it's going to take too much time. So that's why we started creating a platform. So it's where we work with local partners all around the world to accept payments, but also disperse payments. So we have offices, as I mentioned, around the world. Here in Amsterdam for the European region, but we also have in the UK, we have in Iceland, US, and also in Asia and Singapore. And we have 880 employees worldwide. So what is it that we do? So this is a snapshot, but afterwards I give you a good snapshot of our presentation of all the product lines that we have. But in essence, we can collect payments in over 100 countries. We can disperse funds to pay out through a bank transfer to over 190 countries. We can hold funds. So that's one of the cool things that we can do. And that's where the Fintech as a service actually arises, is that we can hold funds on behalf of other businesses. So it doesn't have to be yours, but you can help a company and hold their funds using our licenses and then manage those funds. And what we can accept is car payments, bank transfers, e-wallets. In Asia, e-wallets is predominant, but also cash. So with us, and you get more choices as a business. You probably all know a lot is API driven. It's the same in the payments industry. A lot of things are API driven. We do also have, for the businesses that are not tech savvy, also out-of-the-box solutions that you just pop up a payment checkout page and show that to your consumers. Postal solutions, payment plugins, and also point-of-sale terminals. So you might, if you go to Iceland, if you have a holiday there one day, and you go to the store, you'll probably see a Rapyd point-of-sale. So we're very predominant there in Iceland. The cool thing about Rapyd is that you have a single platform. So it's just one integration in essence, which gives you all these capabilities that you can use yourself as a company, as a customer of Rapyd, but also as a developer or a platform yourselves to offer it to your customers. So that's the beauty and that's the idea of this conversation today is, hey, you can use us in order to offer your customers not just the design or the development of an application or of a website, but also additional services of actually earning money yourselves. And think of, okay, it's not the billable hours or a project I'm selling. I'm also earning a commission on the transactions that take place on that platform. And that's where you could use a company like ourselves to enable that. So that's kind of a nutshell what I said. And payments in the past was a cost. A lot of companies just said, oh, well, they're Stripe, just go and talk to them and they'll offer you payments and let me alone. I'll just do the development of the website of the application. And the idea that what we have is to say, hey, guys, don't do that and do that yourself. Just create another revenue stream. So that's where we're trying to make some changes in also the mindset of different companies. Just to think about, okay, that part of earning money in a different way. So this is, the old model is, for some companies actually that we see is advertising. Some they would say, okay, we have a lot of views. That's how we earn money through ads. And the payments is an expense part. We outsource that. And the new model is what I just mentioned several times now. And you'll hear it in the presentation as well. Is offering that payments. It gives you an idea. If you earn 2% on a transaction and you have an application or website where a lot of transactions take place, if you earn a commission of 2% on each transaction, that's a good recurring business that's happening on a daily or per minute basis, right? So you can go to sleep and still earn money. So this is the part of the product offering that we have. So as a business, and you'll see with the use case, there's a fantastic use case that they're using actually all our whole platform, all product offerings that we have. So on the collect part, you have to think of it as, okay, incoming money. So I'm accepting money from my users. They pay by card or bank transfer or cash or an e-wallet in Asia. But sometimes you also have to pay people. No? So you have maybe freelancers that you have to pay across the world. So you can say, okay, I'll start dispersing funds to their bank account. So for the salary payments or for affiliate marketing, so you have to pay fees, or even for Google or Facebook for the ads that you get. So the disbursements, the wallets is where you think about then the funds that we can hold on behalf. So the wallet infrastructure. So you can, what we can do is KYB businesses, and you can say my customers are businesses. We use our licensing, we just verify them to see, okay, are they a legitimate business and not a fraudulent business that we can hold the funds off. And then with using the other products, you can collect, put money into that wallet or disperse money from that wallet. And the fourth and last very interesting product is issuing. So there's a card issuing. So you can say, hey, I got freelancers, I want them to use my card to make payments, for example. So that's the whole ecosystem of payments is within the platform. We do more things than, of course, collecting payments and just holding them. You have the FX services, you have the reconciliation, so that you can say, okay, I got these payments come in, these payments come out. So from a financial perspective, there's also an additional value to it. So yeah, you might have heard all about Fintech. What is Fintech? Fintech is actually very broad. So these are some ideas that you can think of when we talk about Fintech. And also product ideas or projects. Some of you might be entrepreneurial and think, okay, I want to start our own business. How can I integrate payments into that business? So what we see also is a lot of customers come to us in the lending and financing part. So think of buy now, pay later for consumers, but also for businesses. It's a hot topic lately. You have insurance tech, so when you see insurances, you don't have to go to a website and then fill in information, but you can do all through an application and offer payments within the application. Market and exchanges, think about crypto and trading platforms like Robinhood in the US. Then you have financial management, think about expense management, invoicing, and the likes. Payments and transfers is the remittance world. So you have to send money to one side of the world, but also collect those funds. And then retail banking, so like neobanks also benefit of using a platform like ours, but others like in the market can offer then a wide range. And don't go home and think, okay, Rapyd is the only one that can offer this. There's many more, and you can integrate with all those services and create a total product offering. So how does payments drive revenue? So this is the case study that I want to present, which is cool. So I'll play a video of the operations officer to tell what she thinks about Rapyd, if there is.
Oh, they muted the sound on the TV.
Oh. Oh, no, feedback. Okay. So, and I can't get. Okay, so I can't get the sound out of this one. No, but then I get. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm trying, but I'm not tech savvy.
Okay,
So no.
So you sound from here?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So that's Catmos. So that's the customer that I onboarded onto Rapyd. So I'm super happy myself. So I've been told today not to wear a Catmos shirt because I always kind of wear a Catmos swag. But yeah, so Catmos is great example of a company that did not exist prior to them having Rapyd in essence. So the whole business is in essence set up on or built on top of Rapyd. And yeah, the complexities in that world, you have to think it's like an ancient world. So only a lot of paperwork, a lot of faxes still going on there. Like you can't really understand that, but and also cash heavy. So you might have heard of all the pirates in Somalia. The reason why they're attacking the boats because they know there's a lot of cash on those boats. Because of the salaries of people that are 3 to 9 months on sea, and they have to get paid their salaries. Half of their salaries are paid through a bank transfer, and the other half was on cash on boats. Because then they go to a port and have to buy toiletries or whatever. So yeah, they're revolutionizing in essence the seafarer world or the shipping industry. So I'm paying these individuals, these seafarers, in the local currency using the local rails, or local bank accounts. So yeah, that's ideas that you think of. Here is like the recent industry in the news. You see a lot of reduction in and earning money through the advertisements. That's one area. Of course, there's many other areas. It's not losing money, but there's a less revenue stream there. So that's why we also see that, okay, this is the moment where we should introduce the fintech also to the developer community and expand it. And hopefully that helps us as a business. So yeah, this is the companies I also referred to. So we're not the only ones in this industry that you should look at. There's others as well. But yeah, how did it grow? How did fintech come alive? Of course, you have the internet, the cloud, software as a service, the mobile. Everyone is using it, so it's like mobile heavy. As you can see with Catmos, all the seafarers have a mobile. That's the easiest way to communicate with them. It's on the application there. And then if we can add fintech to it, payments, receiving money, but also paying out, that would be that's fantastic. And also with the card issuing, if we can do then put on your phone, so you don't have to have a physical card. You can just have your phone, and you're pretty much done. So yeah, so how do you monetize fintech? So there's the two ways. On the example of Catmos, you do it all yourself. Or as a company, you can say, okay, I'll help my customers, make them earn money as well, and then you also earn a part of commission. So there's the solutions, partnerships, that you create a platform, use the whole ecosystem of Rapyd, and use it themselves. And the referral partnerships that you can say, okay, I refer a customer to use Rapyd, and then there's like a referral commission, or you earn money also on those transactions. Yeah, these are some tips that you could personally do as well if you're very interested in implementing fintech in any application or business that you think of. Find a service that provides something that with on high frequency, acquire the users as a typical application does to get consumers to come and to use the application or website. Once you have all that data, you can say, okay, I'll add the financial product to it. So collecting funds, holding money for them. Think about maybe a Viber or a Tango Me, where you have a lot of individuals looking at mobile applications, and all those content creators also have to be paid. Some people paying to see the content, and the content creators receiving money. And engage users with the repetitive models on cross-sell, upsell. Card issuing is, for example, creating a loyalty within your user base so that they start using your cards. There's also branding. They show the brand cards to other people. So yeah, that's the idea. So yeah, the cool thing about Rapyd is that you can start using it directly. So you can open an account with us and start playing on the sandbox environment. And if you have an application, you can directly test it out as well. So they start building it. And I remember the QR code that's actually on the first page.
There is another one.
There's another one, okay. So most of you have seen probably that nice box over there. So we have a QR code that comes afterwards. Please scan it. And we have a survey so that we understand of whether you like the presentation and if there's something that we can improve on. And for a lucky winner, we have then the R2D2. So you might be lucky tonight. So that's my presentation. I'm handing it over to Tiki. That will give the real deal, the presentation or the demo on Rapyd.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Tiki. I've been a backend developer at Rapyd backend. I know it's supposed to be front-end people here. I'm a little bit of an imposter, but I have worked with front-end, so I was allowed to come. I've been at Rapyd for 2 years, a bit over 2 years. I recently became a team lead there, but still a developer at heart. And I'm here to show you guys how easy it is to integrate with Rapyd. Before I get started, I wanted to give just a general overview of Rapyd Stack. Obviously, this does not include everything, and it's a big generalization. But we use AWS for cloud services. Our main databases are MySQL and MongoDB. Most of our front end is React, and most of our back end is Node.js. Again, there are outliers, but that's just a general overview before we get started in the actual demo. And how it's done is building integrated fintech in minutes. And I love this slide. And the reason I love this slide is because it sounds like a lie. It's like integration is never a few minutes. It's never a few hours. It's usually a few days or weeks if you're integrating with a third-party API. I'm assuming in front end that happens as well. I'm not going to make any assumptions. But integration takes a long time, whether it's just to sign up to the third party or to get credentials or to like create the authentication headers in order to make your first request. It just takes a long time. And I know that with Rapyd, it takes a few minutes, which is incredible. And I'm also it helps that I'm a backend developer because I'm going to show you guys front-end things that I haven't worked with. So these are not products that I've been working on. It's our front-end teams that have been doing this, and I'm just doing a demo for you guys. So I'm coming also like you guys new to this whole idea. And so this is the plan for the demo. It's no-code, low-code solution for a hosted checkout page. We'll get to what everything is. When I say no-code, low-code, obviously I don't mean no code. There is some code. Rapyd needs you to make a request in order to help you. It's like a help you, help me situation. But it is very low code for someone who is a front-end developer in order to integrate into their own, let's say, their website, which we'll get to what that means. And I'll just give you guys, I guess, the scenario that we're going to go through. Imagine that we have a business, that they have a website, they have everything. They have a beautiful UI that you guys built. There's a back end, there's a front end. It's all really working well. They have their items up, their pricing. The one thing that doesn't exist is the checkout page. And you guys as front-end developers, you're like, okay, fine, I'll make the UI, like no problem. And then the business says like, okay, so go, like make the front end and do the checkout and just make it like the ability that I can get money for all the things that I want to sell on my website. So you go and you look it up, and then you see that it's going to take you decades to get legally processed and to go through the whole legal process of being able to accept payments just in Amsterdam, let's say, and then you want to move to like another city. So forget about international people buying things from your website. It's not going to work. So you go back to the business and you're like, I can make you a really pretty UI, but we can't accept payments. It's not going to work. So he sends you back to Google and he says, okay, find me a way to somehow integrate something that will allow me to accept payments in every country internationally. So you go and you look it up and you find Rapyd. And you find something that Rapyd offers, which is called a hosted checkout page. A hosted checkout page is what it sounds like. It's a page that's hosted by a third party that you can do checkout on. And somehow you as the business will get the money at the end of the day. So that's sort of what we're going to go through now. So we'll start with number one, which is Rapyd's client portal. So you're going to go and you're going to sign up to Rapyd, obviously. So here I've opened up the client portal just so we can have it. Sign up is super easy. They don't really need too many details. You need a name, which like I hope all of you have, an email, a phone number, country, and that's it. That's all you need to sign up. You click sign up, and then you get to this page. You toggle the sandbox toggle up on top to make sure that you don't make any real payments with real credit cards. And that's it. Like you're sort of like ready to start. So we'll go back to our plan. Number two is we're going to create our little local server so that we can sort of show how we're going to integrate. So I'm going to go here. I opened up this folder. It's empty except for one thing, which is my cheat sheet. But other than that, it's empty. I called it Amsterdam, and I thought that was super clever. And I'm very proud of that name. So if anything, I'm happy. So in my cheat sheet, the only thing I have two things. I'll explain what the second thing is, but just how to install the server. Again, I'm a backend developer. I'm not going to remember this by heart, so I'm just going to let that go. Yes. Okay, installed everything. Amazing. NPMI. We're ready. So I'm just going to run this for a second just so that we can see that it's all working. Go to localhost. And here, the automatic routes are users, and we're supposed to see respond with a resource if everything is working well. Yay! So we see respond with a resource. So we have the local server up and running, and now we're going to go to the next stage, which is test like the simplest API we can, just to make sure that the integration is working. So Rapyd has one of like a really simple API. It's called Get Countries. It just returns a list of countries that Rapyd supports payments in. So we're going to go to the documentation, which this is Rapyd's main website. We're going to go to the API reference. Now, again, as I mentioned, one of the main like sort of hassles when integrating with a third party is trying to generate the authentication headers, or even just like format the body correctly, like all these weird things that just never work. So what Rapyd has, which is amazing and it solves everybody's problems, is sample code. We're going to take here from the Node.js and just copy it, and I'll put it here as maybe utilities or request utility. Copy that here. I'm not making any changes, okay? So the sample code does work. The base URL is already there. It's the sandbox API at Rapyd. The only thing that we're going to need is the secret key and access key from our client portal to start making requests. So we're going to go back, where is it? Here, to our client portal. Here in this developer section, we have the access key and secret key. Weirdly enough, the biggest complaint we have from developers is that here it's access key and secret key, and here it's secret key and access key. So one day we're gonna fix that, I promise. There just seems to be bigger issues all the time, but I mean, not bad issues, just issues that we need to deal with. So we're gonna copy that and don't get confused. The secret key is the longer one. We're gonna save that. And now we're gonna use this, you know, we'll rename it so we don't get confused. We'll rename it countries. And here also, countries, we'll leave the user's router. We'll allow it. And we're going to do /countries instead. And here in our countries, we're going to, instead of doing res send respond with a resource, we're going to actually make a request using the sample make request function. So let's do countries. Remember that we're just doing the simplest one to see if it's working. So this make request is from our request utility. So that's what we put in. And the method is get. And I'm going to go now back to the here and search up this API that I keep telling you guys it's really simple. Countries, we're going to find, here we go. So here, this is the route. We already have the base URL in the sample code, and it's a get, so that makes it super easy. And we're going to return countries and hope for the best. We're still sort of with backend, so as I got this. Okay. No. Okay, no, that's fine. Okay, we added in a wait, which wasn't there before, so we just need an async there. Okay, let's go here, and instead of to /users, we're going to go to /countries. Ta-da! Okay, we managed to connect to Rapyd. We got a list of countries. Now that was just checking the authentication headers, making sure that we are able to make a request to Rapyd. And now we're going to move on to our actual, like, what we really want to do, which is create a hosted checkout page. So as we mentioned, why do we want this hosted checkout page? We want a way to accept payments without doing the UI and also without having to deal with all the horrible things that are involved with making payments internationally. So we're going to go back to the documentation. We're going to search up checkout. So there. Do the same thing that we did with countries just now with the checkout. We're going to go to create checkout. Now we're getting a little more complicated because it's a post, but we'll manage. We're going to copy this route, paste it here. It's going to be a post. Before I forget, I'm going to go back here and do /checkout. I'm not going to change the name. Bear with me. Okay. Here. So now instead of countries, this is going to be our checkout page. So this is sort of what's happening in the back end of the front end. Okay, this is what they're going to be requesting in order to display it or to redirect. We're going to see two different examples. We're going to do a checkout page and also a toolkit, using a toolkit to embed the checkout page. So we'll look at both of them. But for now, we're looking at the redirect. Okay, now the body for this, there's only 3 required parameters. We have an amount, which basically as a merchant, you would have on your UI, obviously the whole card, and you would sum up the amount, the currency that they're paying in, and the country that they're paying in. So let's create the body. And we'll do amount. I need like a really special amount so that we recognize the payment. Any amount. 420. Wow. Okay, lucky we're in Sandbox. What's 420? The date. Oh, wow. Okay. Now it makes total sense. Okay. Okay, so we created the body with the 3 parameters that we need. We sent it to the make request, and we're going to restart our server and hope to get a response. Okay, now remember we changed it to /checkout. Okay, so we got the response. Most of this is irrelevant to the front-end user other than this guy, the redirect URL. As we said, this is a hosted checkout page. So it is hosted at sandboxcheckout.rapyd.net. And as you guys can see, half of this URL also has a checkout token, which will be relevant later when we're using the toolkit. But what you guys would be doing as front-end developers is you would be getting this redirect URL and redirecting the customer that wants to pay to this page. So let's pretend like we're redirecting. And we should see Rapyd's checkout page. Here's our 420 euros. We see, oh, it's a lot of money. The customer can put in their bank details, they can put in their card details, they can pay with Google Pay. If we open this in Safari, if we just took the redirector out and opened it in Safari, we would see Apple Pay as well. So we'll try and make a payment. Luckily, a fake one. Okay. Fake credit card, a valid, okay. A name, I'm gonna go with 2 names that I learned here, combine them. And we'll do place order. So here we're still on the hosted checkout page. And once we click this finish button, the customer will be redirected to wherever the merchant defined that they should be redirected to based on the request to the checkout page. We send in Rapyd's homepage, so when we do finish, we should be redirected to rapyd.net. Now, after that happens, let's go back to the portal, go to collect, which is payments, and payments, and we should see our very big payment of 420 euros. And here's all the details. The only detail that I would want to, mention now is the e-wallet section of this. A lot of people ask us, okay, that's great, the payment's going somewhere. I never defined where it should go, and I don't really understand how I'm going to get it at the end of the day. So when a merchant signs up, not just using the Sandbox, obviously using production environment, they connect their bank account to digital wallets. That's defined here in the client portal. And what they're able to do based on currency and bank account, let's say here we have euros, 420 euros when they're added to the balance of this e-wallet defined here. Obviously here there's a section of wallets. You could go there and you see the balance of each currency that you have. And then per merchant, they have their own configuration, which is called the settlement configuration, if you guys have heard of it. And it means just how often Rapyd should take real money and turn this virtual money into real money and take the money and put it into their bank account, into the merchant's bank account. It could happen weekly, it could happen monthly. I'm not really sure all the options, but that's when the actual money goes into the bank account. Before that, it's all virtual. It's in their e-wallet here, and they can sort of track how much money they have. So that's the checkout page. The next thing, where did I put it? Here. That was step number 4. Now we're going to go to step number 5, which is use Rapyd Toolkit to embed a checkout page. It's very similar, just in this case, instead of the whole UI being redirected to another domain, I guess, we're just embedding a little toolkit that they can do the checkout. So all the backend is still happening by Rapyd, like all the code is happening, we're making the payments, but so they can keep their pretty UI, but just have an embedded checkout. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go back to the documentation and look up this time toolkit. And also here they have a really good sample HTML, so we're going to take it. Going to copy it. There's like an extra HTML up there which always screws people up, so that also has to be removed, but all in good time. Okay, toolkit. So imagine this is like the merchant's UI. This is what they're trying to sort of embed with Rapyd's toolkit. So this is using that. Oh, okay, wait, another thing that's really confusing, and I also suggested that they change, is that if you're using Sandbox, you have to copy this. and change the sample script. Okay, so like if we're here, this is going to be our like merchant's website. So we're going to be like, buy Amsterdam swag. And then that's going to appear, and then inside is going to be the toolkit. One thing to notice is that here the toolkit needs the ID, and that's what we spoke about in the when we did request checkout. We'll go back there. Here, there's an ID. That's the checkout token. So technically, what you could do is request from the server first to checkout, copy the ID, and then put it there. But obviously, that's not going to happen because we need this to be automated. So that's another thing I have in my cheat sheet. Is just an automated request to our backend server. And we put it in here. So we're going exactly the same request we did from the browser. We're getting back that checkout page, and we're just taking the ID like we did there. Here, like also in the toolkit, you can like customize. You see like here I just did color and text, but like you could do tons of other things as well. There's a lot of options. And that's it. So let's try and rerun the backend server, and we're going to go to this HTML page. Now, I'm pretty sure what happened last time was that I had a CORS issue. I still have a CORS issue. Okay, so I'm going to go to my server. Still there. Oh, no. No matter how many times someone from the front end explains to me what CORS is, I'm...
Don't worry, we don't still know that.
Oh, you guys still don't know? Lovely. Excellent, okay. But I did learn how to use it at least, and then I need to also install it. Okay. Complaints, is that? Okay, let's try again. Okay, yeah. Okay, so this is our merchant's UI, and then they just sort of implemented this whole checkout page. We can make another payment just to make sure that it does work the same way. Oh, too many. Putting in the same name. Also here, obviously it's 420 because our backend server has like it hard-coded when they're creating the checkout page, but obviously in a real website, it would not be hard-coded. And we'll make another payment of 420 euros. And here, so in this HTML sample, it sort of just disappears. I don't know why, but apparently that's fine. So like they're supposed to redirect or do something with that area, but I'm not gonna ask any questions. And we're just gonna refresh here and make sure that the payment actually went through because there it's not so clear, and it did. We have 2 payments of 420 and 20 euros. And that's it, as simple as that. And you guys saw how fast it was to indicate and already start doing the hosted checkout page. Obviously, Rapyd also has direct integration where you're not using the checkout page, you're just using all the other features at Rapyd. We chose this to show this, first of all, because the assumption was most of you are front-end developers. And also, it was just really easy to show how fast it was to like get that checkout page. So that's it. I'm here for questions afterwards if anyone has any.